Hello, everybody. It's Dr. Rick dropping in on you. Hope everybody's having an unbelievable week to this point. Remember what I always say, no matter where you're at right now, no matter what you're going through, no matter how difficult it may seem, if you're still breathing, you're still in the fight. I can't tell you how important it is to understand that this isn't about a life of ease. This isn't about finding the ideal path of least resistance to winning. It's about saying no matter what happens, if I'm still breathing, I'm still in the fight. If I'm still breathing, I have an opportunity to stand up and win this thing, and then going out each and every day and giving life your best and knowing that the seeds you plant in this life will eventually bear fruit if you hold true to who you are. So I cannot stress that enough. Today is Transformational Tuesday. Before I get into these real brief three key elements and components of positive transformation, two things. First and foremost, we're coming down to the end of your time to register for Friday's webinar on breaking the curse of procrastination and overcoming default effect bias, which is this thing that makes us choose the easy way, to makes us take the default setting, which is normally average and mediocre. We're going to cover that in detail on Friday on the webinar, 2 hours, power packed engagement. This isn't a monologue like this pretty much, or where you got to drop your questions in the comment field. You're going to be live on the show. You're going to be able to ask questions. You're going to be able to participate, and we're going to have a Q&A session. This is a lot. You're also going to receive, after the engagement, a free disc assessment that will then be passed on to me, and I will set you up on a customized plan to overcoming procrastination. But you got to sign up for that now. The link is in the description box. Also, I'm really excited about this new thing. Moving forward, once a week, I will accept one person who applies to be interviewed live with me about what they are trying to do in their life. If you're trying to start a business, you have a business, you are struggling trying to get to the next level in whatever you're doing in finance, you're struggling in trying to develop better relationships, whatever the situation is, I am going to do 30-minute interviews once a week. So I'm going to choose one person. What I want you to do initially is just email me and request that you be considered. Give me the reason why you want to work on whatever it is you want to work on. Give me the things that you feel you're battling in that. And I'm going to send you a brief questionnaire for you to answer. And I'm going to select one person every week. And I'm going to sit down and we're going to actually confront your problem live. So you got to be willing to go live, because it's going to be live. You got to be willing to go live. You got to be willing to talk about it. You don't have to reveal anything you don't want to reveal, but definitely tell me the things you do want to talk about. We're going to focus on those things. We're going to go after those things, and we're going to solve problems. I just want to expose people to some of the things that I do on a regular basis and in small increments. This is not even close to what happens when you work with me on an ongoing basis, but it is what happens when you take time to actually confront what you're facing with someone who knows how to get the right answers, get the right type of energy and focus on the things that need to change, and have a strategy for implementing those changes. So again, if you want to actually go live and interview with me about whatever it is you're trying to do, start a business, change your financial situation, change how you view your life, deal with some type of trauma in your life, you had something, whatever it is that you feel you're okay with talking about, where other people are going to be listening and growing and learning from your experience with me. If you're willing to do that, send an email to the email address in the description box, rickwallace@odyssey-mediagroup.com. And I'm going to choose a person each week to do that. I'm going to do it this week. So the sooner you get it in, the better chance you are of making this week's cut. But I'm going to choose one person every week to do that with. Obviously, I can't work with everybody and do that. But I want to do it because I think it's really going to show people just how powerful the mind is, how powerful and unlimited you are in the ability to change your situation when you understand how to use your thoughts. And we're going to go after this full-fledged. So again, I'm excited about that. Look in there. Finally, once again, I'm going to circle back around. If you haven't registered for the Breaking the Curse of Procrastination webinar this Friday at noon. If you can't make it, don't worry about it. You're going to get the full recording of it. We're recording the entire thing. You're going to get the full recording. It's going to be sent to you. You're going to get the disc assessment. You're going to get the personal customized plan of change that I'm going to personally create for you. All of this for an unbelievable $99. I'm telling you, it is worth over $1,000 easily, but you have to be willing to make that change. If you're procrastinating, procrastination is the thief of time and opportunity. It is the #1 killer of dreams. If you want to get past all that, you're going to have to learn how to make moves. And we're going to go through practices and principles and techniques and a bunch of other different things that will help you get past this. And we're going to do it live. So again, the link is in the description box. So let's talk about the 3 key principles or 3 key elements of transformative engagement or transformation. The first is always, to me, when I'm talking with anybody, the first thing I'm going to do when someone comes to me and tells me they're trying to do something and they're frustrated because this isn't happening or that isn't happening, I'm going to ask them to tell me what it is they're trying to accomplish. And what I'm looking for is the clarity in their explanation. How well can you explain it? And how well you explain is going to be a direct correlation to how clear it is to you in your mind. If it's clear to you in your mind, you'll be able to say, this is what I want, this is what I want, this is what I want. One of the biggest problems that we have in trying to achieve change is there's no clarity of focus, no clarity of goal. So we are kind of just all over the place. We know what we want, something better, but we haven't readily defined what better means. In our finances, we haven't put a number on it. If you haven't put a number on it, that's a real vagueness of, I want a better financial situation. That can be so many different things. I want to improve my finances can mean so many different things. What is this number you want to aim after? Now, let me get this clear. This isn't some magic that you put out. You put a number out and it pops up. What I'm telling you is when you focus and you have a number, you have something that is going to be, you can measure when you're moving toward it, you can sit up, but it also becomes an idea. And I'm gonna tell you how that works against you in reverse. Okay, so if I'm striving for a better financial situation, I come up with this number and I tell people, be huge about the number. But be to where it connects, that it's not so far off that it's just like, man, that's bull. Something that connects, but something that's like, whoa, it makes you feel like I really got to stand up and actually go after this. You want that pull. You want a sense of urgency that you're pursuing it. But if you put that number up, that number becomes the number you fixed on. It becomes the goal. It becomes the thing your brain focuses on. Your brain tells your reticular activating system. Your reticular activating system starts to filter out information and look for ways to get that number. Here's the problem with being in survival mode, which a lot of people are. And it's easy to get in survival mode. Even I have to guard against it, because what happens is you have immediate needs. You have these things that are popping up that need to be handled right now. The problem is the things that need to be handled right now are probably, in, if you're talking numbers, aren't as big as this number that you're setting up and trying to achieve, right? So what happens though is when you in survival mode and you focus on that number, you totally eliminate the other number, because what have I always told you? Whatever you focus on, you feel. So it's, say for instance, your number is 100,000, and I'm just throwing numbers out there. Your number is 100,000. But there's this thing that needs to be taken care of right now. You got a plan. You've literally ironed out your plan. You're working towards 100,000. But here's the thing right now that needs $500 by tomorrow. And so, or $500 by Friday, or $500 by a very short period of time. And you know your back is against the wall. So your money, your mind goes completely towards the 500. Guess what? Every thought that's given to the 500 pushes this off. You stop focusing it. You stop working the plan to get the 100. You start focusing on getting the 500. And many times you'll get the 500, but guess what? You completely taking your plan off of the 100. And now it's going. I'm not saying ignore the small things. I'm saying you got to be aware of what you're giving your most attention to. And what you'll actually find is if you trust the process many times, if you can stay with the process, and it's hard because the thing is, that's got to be done. That's got to be done. And so we give all the attention to it, but we make the number small. So the mind now is told the reticular activating system, we're only focusing on things that can produce $500. So now everything that's going to 100 is being ignored and being pushed away. You're also, when you're focusing like that, you're telling your mind, that's what I can do. Or you're telling your mind through default that it's hard even getting this. Why am I even sitting up talking about that? And you lose focus. So again, it's about understanding the importance of what you focus and what you give your mind to. So you need clarity, and you need a commitment to the cause, a commitment to the purpose, a commitment to this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to do it. This is the level at which we're going to do it. And you stick with the plan. Now, that's long term. The long term plan isn't a survivalist. The long term plan is a creator. And you've been given the power to create. You've been given the infinite power and the infinite wealth and the infinite value of being able to come up with anything in your mind necessary to create. The problem is, the more you stay in survival mode, the less you're actually creating and the more you are scrambling. So again, that's that. So the idea is first clarity. Next is reprogram your mind. You are literally living out your beliefs. You're living out your beliefs. The things you do, the steps you take are based on your beliefs. Most people are functioning primarily from limiting beliefs, limiting beliefs that they picked up when they were children, limiting beliefs they picked up watching mom and dad, limiting beliefs they picked up in a community where everybody was pretty much here, wherever here is. And it's hard to see life beyond that because these limiting beliefs were sculpted at a time in development when you were creating the paradigm or the lens through which you view life, the lens that tells you what belongs to you, what you're capable of, what your limits are, what you can't possibly do. And you literally have to go in and you have to reprogram and reshape what's going on in your mind. How do you do that? By the information you feed your mind. You've got to literally change the programming. You're being programmed daily, and once you get hardwired in your program, you will literally seek out and gravitate towards the things that reinforce the program. So if your program says this is what I can make in a year, everything you focus on are going to be around situations that pretty much gravitate towards that particular amount. If your limitation says that only certain people can be business owners and other people fail at this particular rate, then your mind will tend to focus on and find things that will sort of put you in a risk averse mindset of, man, I go out there and try to start this business. Look what happened. This is what happened to the most people that does it. And so I'm not going to even try it. And so you got to get past and say that you've got to really shape it and say, I can be successful. And you've got to literally do it repetitively because the brain responds to repetitive information coming in. The more repetitive some information that comes in, the more gravity and value the brain gives to it, sends the message to the reticular activated system. Hey, this is important. We're going to focus on this. We're going to focus on information on starting a business successfully, the things we need to focus on to making sure our business is successful, and on down the line. And so here's the thing, that there's no 100% guarantee in anything, but except for if you don't take action, you won't go anywhere. That's the guarantee. If you don't take action, you will fail. If you don't make moves, you will fail. If you don't sit up and get out of your comfort zone, you will never move beyond where you are. If you're going to change where you are, you have to change your thinking. You have to raise your standard. God will only meet you at the level of your expectations, and your expectations are a direct reflection of your beliefs. So if your beliefs are anchoring you in mediocrity, poverty, lack, poor relationships, poor self-esteem, all these different things, it's your responsibility to reconstruct all of that, starting with your self-image. I can do all things. I can do anything I set my mind to. If I can conceive it in my mind, it's God's evidence that it's possible. I'm unleashing my imagination to show me what's capable in this world. I'm not going to confine my thoughts and imaginations to the limits of yesterday. I'm not going to allow the things that held other people in check to tie me down. I'm going to unleash my mind, my imagination, the force of my creativity, which is the force of my ability to create, given to me by the Creator, so that anything that I desire to do, that I can conceive in my mind, I can make happen. But I have to program it. I have to literally feed my mind. I am. I wrote a book called I Am, The Power of Personal Declarations. In the book of Job, it says that you shall declare a thing. God's talking to Job. You shall declare a thing and it shall be established. You shall declare a thing and it shall be established. What are you declaring in your self-talk? What are you speaking into your life based off of limiting beliefs? What are you sitting up convincing your subconscious that you can't do? When the truth of the matter is you can, but you're going to have to change what? Your thinking. You're going to have to what? Reprogram your mind. It's what are you exposing yourself to? What are you feeding? Your mind and your brain as this unbelievably powerful processing center, the most powerful supercomputer on the planet, but it can only process what you feed it. What are you feeding the mind? And then finally, you got to start practicing the principles. And here's the hard part for a lot of people. See, practicing the principles means behaving as if you're already there, talking as if you're already there, moving in the circles as if you're already there, getting out of your comfort zone and doing things differently. This is the thing that you're going to have to learn how to do. This is the thing that you're going to have to shift and change about your behavior. This is the thing that's going to determine how high you can fly. Am I willing to what? Clarify my vision. 2, reprogram my mind to focus on the things that I desire and remind myself that it's possible. 3, practice the principles that underwrite the process and ensure the victory. Those 3 things, when you line up with those things, unbelievable things happen. You turn the unbelievable to the believable becomes the accomplished. You have the power to do that with anything in your life. It's not magic. It doesn't happen overnight. It happens through you reshaping your thoughts. Your beliefs deliver to you whatever you believe. You live life at the level of your expectations, whether you would realize it or not. If I'm ever going to get outside of what I'm doing now, I have to shift what I believe is possible. I'm never going to invest massive amounts of energy and effort into something I don't believe can happen. And if I don't invest massive amounts of energy and effort into something, I'm not going to get results. So I have to believe it at a level that allows me to put that type of energy and effort. And I have to do that by programming my thinking. So I'm going to leave that with you. Once again, if you haven't signed up for this week, this Friday's No 0 Days, Breaking the Curse of Procrastination's webinar. If you haven't signed up to learn how to get out of doing the status quo over and over again, going into the default setting of average and actually taking the type of massive action we're talking about, sign up for that and get all the bonuses that come with it. Even if you can't be there on Friday, we're going to record it. We're going to get you the complete recording, including the Q&A. And you're going to get to hear from me afterwards because we're going to give you a free disc assessment. I'm going to take that assessment and write your personal customized plan for breaking out of procrastination and breaking the mold of default. You don't want to miss this opportunity. This is value packed. Click that link and sign up now. Also, anybody who is willing to be interviewed by me live to talk about something that you're struggling with that you want to see changed in a 30-minute interview segment, send an email to the email address in the description box, Rick Wallace at odyssey-mediagroup.com. And I'm going to select one person each week to sit down with live, and we're going to break it down, and I'm going to give you your breakthrough. This is what we're going to do. I'm excited about it. If you want to be a part of it, let's line it up. Let's make it happen. But nothing happens if you just sit there. It's time to take action. On that note, I'm out of here. You guys have an unbelievable remainder of your day.